Hariom students, I am Pushpanjali from CBSE English classes. Today I am going to teach you second part of figure of speech. Now what is figure of speech? Figure of speech is a word or phrase that has a meaning something different than its literal meaning. It is used to add color to the language. Now here in this part I am going to teach you anaphora, oxymoron, antithesis, and I'll also tell you the difference between antithesis and oxymoron. Then enjambment, elegy and lyric. Now see anaphora. What is anaphora? What is anaphora? It is a deliberate repetition of the first part of the sentence in order to achieve an artistic effect. Now, in a very simple language, I will tell you. Here, the same word got repeated in the consecutive lines. You can see. And do you know, put on your best attire. And do you know, cut out a holiday. And do you know, stew flowers in his way. Now you can see, dear children, here and do you know, and do you know, and do you know. These words are repeated, isn't it? So when the same word got repeated in the 2 or 3 or more than that consecutive lines, then it is anaphora. Getting? Now see, some more examples I have brought. I have been one acquainted with the right. I have walked out in train. I have outwalked the furthest city light. Now you can see many examples I have given. So I have. These words are got repeated, isn't it? And it is not necessary that one time or 2 time or 3 time. Many times it can got repeated. You have also read in the first chapter that poetry, Fire and Ice. That some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. So here see, some say and some say got repeated. So it is anaphora. Now, when my teacher tells me to write a poem tonight. Now see, you can also see here, when my teacher, when my mother. So when my. Again there are 4 lines. There are the repetition of when my. The same word got repeated here, isn't it? So which poetic device is used in this line? This poetry. So it is anaphora. Very easy to identify, children. 5 years have passed. 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters, and again I hear this water. Now see, one passage is given from the poetry. 5. Now again this 5 got repeated. When the same word got repeated in 2 or more than 2 consecutive lines, then it is said to be anaphora. Which poetic device? Anaphora. Okay. So I think that there should be no doubt in anaphora. Now come to oxymoron. What is oxymoron? So oxymoron is a figure of speech which brings together contradictory terms for rhetorical effect. Now you can also say it is a figure of speech in which the 2 opposite adjectives are used. Okay. Mainly adjectives are used, opposite words are used here. You can see in the example leaving death. It is the opposite words. Sweet sorrow. Both are an adjective. Both are adjective and they are opposite. Cheerful, promised. Now in the other words also you can say what is oxymoron. So oxymoron is a phrase or figure of speech that takes 2 words together that appear to have opposite meanings but are a contradiction in terms. You have to always remember the 2 words that will be opposite in meanings but they should be also contradiction in terms. Okay, let me give you some examples so that will be more clear to you. This painting is pretty ugly. Now see, pretty and ugly both are opposite and both are used in the same sentence. Getting all of you? So which figure of speech is used in this? So it is oxymoron. The right kind of wrong. So again you can see the right kind of wrong. Right and wrong, they are opposite of each other, isn't it? So it is oxymoron. I have never heard silence quite this loud. Now again you can see here in this line silence and quiet. They are opposite of each other, isn't it? So here also oxymoron. So now I think it is very clear to you all children that what is oxymoron. So oxymoron, when the two opposite words or contradictory in sentence that is used, that is called oxymoron. There is a real love hate. Now you can see love and hate, they are opposite to each other. You are getting now? So it is very easy to understand. The comedian was seriously funny. Now you can see seriously funny, they are opposite to each other. So it is oxymoron, no any doubt. Many more examples I have given. You can see that, see, perfectly imperfect, a pretty ugly. Now pretty ugly is also opposite to each other. Perfectly imperfect, they are also opposite to each other. Opposite words are used here. So you can see sweet and sorrow, again opposite word, sweet and sorrow is opposite to each other. Getting all of you? Now you can see many examples I have given of the oxymoron. So you can, now it is very much clear to you all. Okay. Now see, antithesis and oxymoron. I will teach you antithesis also, but let me tell you before that. So there are very similarity. There are many similarities, very much confusion. So what is oxymoron and what is antithesis? Okay. Now I think it is clear to you all that oxymoron is what? What is oxymoron? So oxymoron is a figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction. Okay. But now I will teach you antithesis. What is antithesis? Antithesis is also same. But what is happening there? They are literally devices in which an opposition on contrast of idea is expressed using a parallel grammatical structure. Okay. It will be not clear to you. I will give you some examples. I will tell you the definition. Then that will be clear. Because I have taught you the oxymoron. So let me clear first of all the oxymoron. Oxymoron contains two opposite words. Okay. And antithesis contain two opposite words, clauses, sentences or concepts. Getting? In an oxymoron, the opposite words or antonyms can be noted together. But in antithesis, the opposite words or antonyms are not always together. It is the main difference between oxymoron and antithesis. Now I will tell you what is antithesis. Okay. Now see, antithesis is a person or thing that is the direct opposite of someone or something else. Love is the antithesis of selfishness. You are seeing now, love is the antithesis of selfishness. But they are not close to close. Love and hate we have seen in the oxymoron na. But here love and selfishness. Now I will tell you some more examples. Then that will be more clear to you. First of all, clear your definition that what is antithesis. So antithesis, a striking opposition or contrast of words, isn't it? Always remember that it is a striking opposition or contrast of words or sentiments is made in the same sentence, isn't it? See, in the same sentence, man proposes, God disposes. Same sentences we can see that two contradiction is there. Speech is silver, silence is golden. Getting all of you? Speech is silver, silence is golden. In a same sentence, two contradictory statement we are getting, isn't it? See, when there is need of silence, you speak. And when there is need of speech, you are silent. Now, you can see here two sentences are given. In one sentence says how the two ideas are kept together. In the first sentence, when there is need of silence, you speak. So it is just opposite here. When there is need of speech, you are silent. So two opposite ideas are put together in this sentence. Too black for heaven, yet too white for hell. Now you can see here again heaven and hell. Two opposite ideas are kept together, isn't it? Now see, many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. So here also you can see many and few. Two opposite ideas are kept together, isn't it? don't use big words, they mean so little. So again here, don't use big words, they mean little. Two contradictory ideas are put together. Okay. I burn and I fridge. Her character is white as sunlight, black as midnight. So I think it is very clear to you, okay, that antithesis expresses their contrary ideas in a balanced sentence. Okay, you can also say opposite ideas in a balanced sentence. Okay, it can be a contrast of opposites. You can see evil men fear authority, good men cherish it, isn't it? I think there should be no any more doubts regarding this. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. You can see here, same two opposite ideas are kept together. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. So best and worst, they are opposite terms. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. You can see again, two opposite ideas are kept together. So I think there should be no any doubt in antithesis. Now come to the enjambment. What is enjambment? So enjambment is the practice of running lines of poetry from one to the next without using any kind of punctuation to indicate a stop. Isn't it? Now punctuation marks you all know, na? Comma, full stop, these are used in poetry. So in enjambment, there will be no any use of full stop, comma, like that. You can see enjambment is the continuation of a sentence from one line to another without terminal punctuation. No any punctuation mark, means mainly there are in 2 lines, 3 lines, there is no any punctuation mark present. In enjambment, the phrase or sentence do not stop at the end of the line. Enjambment is not marked by punctuation. So it is very clear that in a poetry there would be no punctuation mark, isn't it? Neither comma nor full stop. Nothing will be present. So see one example I am giving you. And he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night. Now you can see in this line, it is one paragraph taken from a poetry. Here, can you find any full stop, comma, anything? Nothing is there, na? So it is, which figure of speech is used in this poetry? So here, enjambment is used. Why enjambment is used? Because here no any punctuation marks we are getting, isn't it? No any punctuation marks, so it is enjambment. So it is very clear that in a poetry where means one paragraph free, no any punctuation mark, no any means very less punctuation marks. Here you can see from the beginning to last only one full stop and here only one comma. Free lines, isn't it? So it is which figure of speech? So it is enjambment. You can see a while ago I gave up trying to be perfect and now in lieu of that I try must. So here 2-3 lines are given. There are no any punctuation mark. Now see one more example is here. You can see here, my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Now you can see from the beginning to end only one full stop is used, isn't it? From beginning to end only one full stop is used. So it is which figure of speech here? Enjambment. है ना? Because we know enjambment is what? Where 1 or 2 or 3 lines, no any punctuation mark is used. It is not necessary that for a one paragraph, but at least 1, 2, 3 lines there should be no any punctuation mark should be used. So you can see here no any punctuation mark is used in from the beginning to end. I have given more and more examples so that it should be clear to you, isn't it? Our concept should be clear. There should be no any confusion. So this one poetry I have taken. See in this poetry, first paragraph, you can see only one paragraph, one punctuation mark, that is full stop. From beginning to end, only one punctuation mark, that is full stop used. And in the second paragraph, here you can see only 1 or 2 that is used. So it is fully, we can say, enjambment is used in this poetry. Okay. Which figure of speech is used? Enjambment is used because there is no any punctuation marks. Getting? Now see, elegy. What is elegy? Now, elegy is a figure of speech in which a sad thought poem lamenting the death of a person. The poem which conveys the poem which is set for the dead people. Okay, that is called elegy. So we can see one example, Thomas Gray's now elegy written in the Kutsi. Now, if any person dies, for them we are writing any poetry, then it is called elegy. It is a poem of mourning. You know, na, mourning, sadness. Most elegies are about someone that has died. Some mourn a way of life that is gone forever. Oh captain, my captain, why? These are the poetries. These are the examples I have given, that these are written for the dead person. Poetries which are written for the dead person, that is called elegy. A poem or speech expressing mourning or loss, usually over the death of someone. You have seen in class 9 there is one poetry, Splendor Did My Spirit Sail. That is also written for the, when the beloved of the poet is not anymore, then he has written that poetry. So that is the best example you can remember from your syllabus. So example, you can see many examples the poet have given. This is mainly written in the mourning or loss for someone. A poem of grief for someone's death. Very clearly it is mentioned. A poem of grief for someone's death. Now if somebody dies, for them we are writing something. We are giving our, we want something to, why we want to convey our message to them. So we are writing for them. That is called elegy. Now there are many examples you can see for the elegy. That is the Paul death, the captain, my captain. Now these are all examples for elegy, because these are written for the dead persons. Okay. Now come to the lyric. What is lyric? So lyric poetry typically describes the poet's innermost feelings or candid observations, and evokes a musical quality in its sounds and rhythms. Lyric poems exhibit an endless variety of forms, isn't it? It is the inner quality of the poet. When the poets want to convey anything, so lyric poetry usually revolves around emotion and perceptions of the poet. Always that it is not bound anything. So poet's internally what he is thinking, that he expresses his emotions. That is called lyric. So it is very easy to understand, isn't it? A lyric poem is highly emotional in nature. It expresses the thoughts and feelings of the poet. Lyric poetry has a musical feel to it and may resemble a song. Now lyric you have read na, road not taken in class 9th. है ना, first poetry of class 9th, road not taken. It is also example of lyric. Okay. Now see, may my faith always beat the end of the day like a hummingbird returning to go its favorite flower. Now here, this poetry, it is lyric. Which poetic device is used in this poetry? These lines. So it is lyric, because here the poet has expressed his inner emotion. So they see this examples also. Many poetry I have brought you as an example, so that should be more clear to you. What is lyric? Isn't it? When the poet expresses innermost qualities, when he expresses emotion, feeling in the poem, that is called lyric. So see here, I heard a fly buzz when I died, the stillness round my form. Now these are all the inner emotion of the poet, which he is expressing as in his poetry. More examples you can see. Here also the poet, you can see how depth, the meaning is very depth. The poet is expressing his innermost feeling. So these are the examples of lyric I have given. So I think this video is very much understood to all of you. If you like my video, then please like it and subscribe my channel. Thank you children. Thank you.